Dear student, hope you are well by the grace of Almighty in this present situation. Today, I'd like to talk about your agricultural studies book, chapter 5, Agricultural Production. Topics to be talked about: what is fish and cultivable fishes in Bangladesh, some cultivable fishes in Bangladesh and their characteristics as for katla, mrigal, silver carp, grass carp, tilapia, etc. Importance of cultivable fishes in Bangladesh. What is Pangas? Characteristics of Pangas fish with cultivation method. Introduction and characteristics of domestic animals, birds and their importance. And introduction of pigeon and their rearing method. Firstly, I would like to talk about cultivable fishes in Bangladesh. What is fish? Fish is a cool-blooded and aquatic vertebrate animal which usually breathe oxygen from water in dissolved state or dissolved condition. This is known as fish. And you know that fish provide us animal protein, and this animal protein is very much important for us. We eat one or another kind of fish every day. Fish is our very favorite food. Fish is one of the most important natural resources in Bangladesh. A lot of fishes are found naturally in the sweet water of rivers, canal, marshes, ponds, lake, such as rui, katla, trout, mrigal, minicar, khulsa, koi or climbing fish, chitol, boal, shrimp, etc. On the other hand, there are different kinds of fishes in the Bay of Bengal. A huge source of our saline water fish such as hilsa, rupchada, luitka, coral, etc. But our quantity of production of fish is much less than people's demand. The demand of fish is increasing every day with the increase of the population of the country. So we can meet demand by cultivating more fish. Now I would like to talk about characteristics of cultivable fishes in Bangladesh. Firstly, katla fish. Its head is big, body is wide and a bit subdued. The back is high, the mouth is bent upwards. This fish grows very quickly. If they are properly fed, they can be 4 to 5 kg within 2 years. Mrigal fish. The head is smaller than the body. The mouth is slightly downwards. The body is long. The lower portion is longitudinally straight. They have two pairs of small antennas by the two sides of its mouth. The exotic fishes that can be cultivated in the pond are silver carp, grass carp, tilapia, Thai sorputi, and they are today cultivated widely. Silver carp fish, they are river water fish that comes from China and Russia. Their head is small, middle portion is wide, the front and back side are narrow. The scale is very small. The color of the body is glittering silvery. Probably those who have seen these types of fish, you may easily observe it. Their mouth is bent upwards like the katla fish. This can be cultivated in the pond with the local cultivable fishes. Silver carp grows the quickest of all the exotic fishes that can be cultivated in the pond. Grass carp fish. They are also found in the rivers of China and Russia. Their body is quite long, head is small. The color of the body is whitish and fin is small. They grow quickly. Any grass or creepers can be fed during cultivation. Tilapia fish You have seen it. Everyone you have seen it. They have been brought from Thailand. Tilapia is very short and comparatively white shape. The body is subdued and the color is grey blue. They are rapidly increasing and delicious to eat. They are individually cultivated in the pond. They become eatable within 3 to 4 months. Thai shorputi. This fish is also called royal putti or rasputi. The body color of this fish is bright silvery. Their body is quite flattened. The head is quite small. They can be cultivated either individually or mixed culture method. They also become eatable within 3 to 4 months. Now we'll go nutrition and economic importance of cultivable fishes in Bangladesh. First is that fulfillment of the demand of nutrition. Fish is the main source of protein in our everyday menu. It is delicious and nutritious food. Protein is necessary for our physical growth and prevention of disease. A grown-up man needs 33 gram to 66 gram of protein daily. And this protein usually provided from fishes. Animal protein is the best among all the proteins, but currently we eat less animal protein than requirement. The want of animal protein can be eradicated by increasing fish culture. So fish culture is very important to get the protein. Source of livelihood. About 15 million people in Bangladesh earn their livelihood in the different ways from the fishes, such as fish farming, catching fish, and selling fish. The opportunities of employment are decreasing in our country as a result of population rise or increase. The scope of employment can be created by fish farming, earning of foreign currency. Bangladesh is earning a lot of foreign currency by exporting fish and eats by poor diet. 86% of the total earning in fish export comes from export of prawn, shrimp or lobster. It is possible to increase their earning by increasing the fish farming. Socio-economic development. There are many shallow land, dishes, canal, where usually fish isn't cultivated. We can develop the economic condition of the poor and low-income people of the village by arranging fish farming in these water bodies. Now we'll go importance of pangas cultivation and preparation for pond for cultivation. Characteristics of pangas fish. You have seen it. These types of fish are usually grow with dirty or nasty water. The upper portion of the fish is brown and the belly is white. They have no scale on their body. The body is subdued, long shaped, and their head is small. Pangas is very suitable for cultivating in the ponds. This fish has no small bones, so it is very convenient to eat. Benefits of pangas farming. Pangas can be cultivated in any sort of ponds, canal, dishes or closed water bodies, either big or small. As earlier I mentioned that such type of fishes grow within a shortest depth of water. That means dirty water it may also grow. This fish can be cultivated either individually or it may cultivate with the other fish species also. Now we'll go pond preparation for pangas cultivation. Pond bank repairing. Firstly, the pond bank is to be repaired and high bank will be made. If there is any bush, we need to clear it up. If there is any big trees, its branches are to be cut off. Otherwise, these branches may fall on the pond water and finally fish culture will be hampered. Cleaning the pond. There should be no aquatic weed in the pond water. If there is more clay soil on the bottom of the pond water, it to be reduced, eradicated, or excavated. If possible, the layers of the clay are to be dried and the pond bottom is to be made hard. Thus, harmful gases and germs are to be removed. Destroying carnivorous and unnecessary fishes. No carnivorous and unnecessary fishes will be kept in the pond. This can be done by drying the pond through irrigation or by pulling dense string gill net. If the pond water cannot be dried, there is a medicinal chemical that is known as rotenone. This is also fish poison. 30 to 35 gram rotenone to be applied per decimal of the pond water in 30 centimeter water depth. Then carnivorous fishes will be killed. The water of the pond cannot be used for 7 to 10 days after using the rotenone. Matter of thing is that after killing the fish by using rotenone, these types of fish are easily eatable. So nothing to worry. Application of lime. When the above tasks are done, 1 to 2 kg lime is applied per decimal of the pond. The lime is first dissolved in bucket, bowl or drum or in container, then sprayed on the pond. Lime makes the water clean and remove germs. Next, application of fertilizer in the pond water for fungus cultivation. After 7 days of applying lime, 5 to 7 kg cow dung or 2 to 3 kg poultry litter, 100 to 150 gram urea, 50 to 100 gram T-Pol superphosphate mixed with the water are used per decimal of the pond. If the water of the pond becomes green after 5 to 6 days of fertilizer use, it is to be understood that natural food is developed on the pond water. Then fingerlings is to be released on the pond water. Releasing fungus fry or fingerlings, nursing of fish during farming and fish collection. Releasing fry or fingerlings if the depth of the pond is 150 to 180 centimeter, 130 to 140 fingerlings of 7 to 10 centimeter size is to be released in individual farming. In mixed culture, 120 to 125 fingerlings along with the other fish as per here given 4 to 5 numbers of silver carp or katla fishes to be released on the pond water. After releasing fingerlings, care and nursing is must. Application of food for fungus cultivation. Fungus is rapidly growing fish, so food is to be provided after a specific time of interval in the pond. The balanced food bought from the market can be used in the pond water, but production cost will be more. So, food can be made in the farm instead of buying the market food. The ingredients for making 100 kg food for fungus cultivation as below. First ingredient here given dried fish dust, oil cake, wheat husk, rice bran, flour, salt, vitamin, mineral mixture. These are the ingredients it will be applied on the pond water and the production of fungus will be more high. Every day 4 to 6% food is given in proportion to the total weight of the fishes in the pond. The daily food is divided into two parts. One part is given in the morning, another part is given in the afternoon. But fingerlings should be given more food, whereas the big fishes should be given less food. After application of fertilizer, it to be tested either its growth is rapidly or late. So when fingerlings are released in the pond water, their growth and health should be taken care of. Every month, the growth and health of the fish is to be examined by pulling nets. To control disease and pest, 250 grams lime and 250 grams salt are to be used per decimal of the pond water. Before summer and rainy season, once a week for 4 to 6 weeks. Fish catching and selling, that means a fish gains 500 gram weight on an average after 4 to 5 months of releasing fingerlings in the pond water. If some fishes are caught and sold in the market, the density of the fishes will be decreased. As a result, other fishes will grow quickly. Introduction and characteristics of domestic animals. You have seen it. Domestic animals usually rear by us and it's domesticated with us. So characteristics of these animals. Firstly, it will be domesticated easily. Second one, they can adjust with the environment of the house. Thirdly, they know their keeper easily. They like the company of man. They respond to the behavior of man in the house. The domestic animals give birth to their babies and they are mammals. Some domestic animals are cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, etc. These are ruminating animals, you know it. Their hooves are divided and they have horns in their head. They graze in the field and eat grass. A horse is not ruminating animal. They have no horns. Those who have seen horse, you may easily recognize it. It has no horns and their hooves are not divided. They sleep standing. Special characteristics of horse is it is far different from cow, buffalo, goat, sheep and others because they sleep standing. They can run very speedy. Introduction and characteristics of domestic birds. These birds will be easily domesticated by us. They get adjusted with the environment of the house. They know their keepers and follow for food. They lay eggs in the house and give birth by hatching. They are adept in rearing their babies. They can collect their own food by themselves. They have 4 fingers in the leg. They have red tuft on their head and they have red flower in their throat. A hen starts to lay eggs at the age of 5 months. A hen tries to save its chicken from wild animals and birds. A dog is called aquatic bird because it likes or loves water so much. The finger of the legs of a duck are connected with the skin so that it enhances it swim on the pond water. A duck is not that much habituated to hatch egg compared to hens. So the eggs of duck are kept for incubation under hen. Economic importance of livestock. Cows and buffaloes have been used in cultivation, transportation, threshing, and other purposes. Livestock keep our ecological balance, weeds of the field, byproducts of the crop, kitchen garbage and waste as their food. Hens and duck eat insects and drop out grains and thus helps to maintain ecological balance. The wool of the sheep is also used in the garments industry. Cow dung and feces of the ducks and hens are also used as compost. You know, this is the composted fertilizer in the field. Moreover, these are used as a fodder for fishes and fuel. Now I would like to talk about pigeon rearing methods in our country. Lots of pigeons are there. Look at the figure. These are the pigeons. There are different breeds of pigeons in the world. White king, silver king, Carno, Homer are world famous for meat. Lahori, Fantail, Shirazi, Giribaz, Peacock, etc. breeds are famous for entertainment. Among the local breeds, they are known as Jalali, Gola, Guli, Dauka, Loton, Mukhi, etc. Commercial pigeons are not seen that much in the Bangladesh. Many people of the countryside rear pigeons for recreation and hobby. It helps fulfill their family needs of meat and as well as recreation. We usually rear the pigeon because we need recreation and side by side we get meat. That it also provide the protein demand. A male and female pigeon live in pair. At the age of 5 to 6 months, a female pigeon lays 2 eggs in 48 hours every 28 days. At the time of laying eggs, both of them gather straw in the nest. After laying eggs, both of them gradually brood eggs. Pigeon eggs take 18 days to hatch. To rear a pigeon is very amusing. The meat of pigeon is very delicious and nutritious. Those who have eaten it, you enjoy it. A pigeon can provide 7 to 8 pairs of babies within a year. The baby of a pigeon becomes fit for being eaten 21 to 28 days. That means 3 to 4 weeks. The cost of rearing pigeon is very less. A pigeon can be reared with a small capital and their disease is comparatively less. Rearing method of pigeon. There are 3 methods of pigeon rearing. Number 1 is open rearing method. Number 2 closed rearing method. And number 2 semi-closed method. Firstly, open method. A pigeon is released in the morning from the nest. They fly around in search of food by day in different places. They sometimes return home to take rest and then go out again. However, they return home before dusk. In this situation, a pigeon is not usually provide any food, but a pigeon does not always get sufficient food from the field. So, if a pigeon is regularly provided with food at home, good babies will be obtained. Closed method. Pigeon is reared within a big room in a closed method, so it is necessary to ensure that sufficient light and air may enter into the room. In this method, a nest or cell is made in the room. Moreover, a pot with food and water is managed in the room. It is also noticed that no rainwater may enter the room. The cell is made in such a way that pigeon may fly in the room easily. However, the method of pigeon is must not be disturbed when it collects food, straw, legs, or hatches the eggs. Half closed method is less in building a multi-layered nest to rear the pigeons. In this method, pigeons are given half of the food at home by calculating. The rest of the food they collect themselves as is done in the open method. Habitat and food management of pigeon. Pigeon likes to live in a single nest or in a cell. The nest of the pigeon is built high from the surface. The nests are built in such a way that wild animals and birds cannot harm them. The nest or cell is built with wood, bamboo, packing wood, etc. If more kids are expected, 2 nests are to be set up side by side for a pair, because while nursing the kids, the pigeon may lay newer eggs and start to hatch eggs in the adjacent nest. The nest may be 2 or more layered. Expense is less in building and multi-layered nest. Food of an aged pigeon. A pigeon likes to eat grains such as rice, wheat, pea, mustard, bean, etc. A pigeon can also feed with the balanced food prepared for hens. Every pigeon eats 50 grams of food daily on an average. A pigeon is fed a mixture food of cockle dust, limestone, wood cool dust, salt, etc. As a result, their mineral deficiencies meet up. The food and water for a pigeon is served in a pot. A pigeon itself goes out in search of food in open and half closed method. They eat food from different crops field. However, pigeon is served prepared food when it is kept at home. That is closed method. Water supply. 2 to 3 bowls are to be arranged in the center of the room for its drinking and bathing. The bowl needs to be filled 3/4 with water. The pigeon will drink water and take bath here. So this is all about. Thank you very much.